Hello, gentlemen. Today we're going to talk about 5 different plays to attack a cover 0, or more specifically, a man blitz, or even more specifically, a pressed man blitz. I posted a poll yesterday, and the overwhelming majority of you guys struggle against this coverage, so that's what we're going to talk about today. Let's get right into it. The first play that we're going to be using is PA slot corner out of Gun Trip's tight end. This can be found in the Raiders, Patriots, as well as, I believe, the Lions playbooks. So it's pretty readily available. And you know what? I actually didn't pick on mid blitz. We're going to do mid blitz and we're going to press it because that is going to be, I feel like that's what you guys are struggling with most, is pressed man blitz. So let's go ahead and we're going to do 2 different variations of this play. The first one is just going to be a quick snap and we're just going to not motion anybody. We're just going to run it like this. And the reads you really have versus man coverage are going to be the tight end corner, which in practice mode doesn't really get open for some reason, but in game it really gets wide open. And then the corner route from the inside slot receiver, as well as the post from the outside slot receiver. So snap it. Let's go ahead and look. This guy gets wide open. He's going to get underneath a third. So the third is there because he's, I believe, manned up to the running back. And then he sees that he's blocking, so he drops into his zone. But this post is going to get underneath him. Then we also have this post route. It just kind of depends on how they shade their coverage. But honestly, both the tight end corner and the receiver corner get wide open in game. For some reason, in practice mode, it just doesn't really work that way. Right here, we get him open here. And, you know, against press, he's just going to cook. So that's the first way you're going to run it. The second way you're going to run it is with a motion. And this is if you just want to have one more route on the field that can beat man coverage. All you're going to do is slant your outside receiver and then motion him across, and then you're going to motion snap him. So like right about here, snap. And now you have an extra route on the field that can beat man, this motion snap. And you also have like a nice little high-low between him and the post. So look at it again. Post gets open, slant gets open. The user cannot take away both. And the user might be shooting out to defend the tight end, to be completely honest with you. He doesn't, like I said, he's just not getting the separation in practice, but in game, he has to be respected. And the user is going to be shooting out there most of the time. So when we run this setup one more time, then we'll move on to the next play. I don't know what happened there. He was lighting up to get a separation, and then he just stopped running. But yeah, as you can see that we're getting really good separation on pretty much all of these routes. Okay, we're going to talk about 2 different ways to beat cover 0 out of tight offset. So let's go ahead and select Saints in. That's going to be our first play. And then we'll go against linebacker blitz 0, which is the looping blitz that a lot of people are still using. And one thing I want you to look at real quick is in a cover 0, look at who's manned up to the running back. And the answer is going to be the opposite side safety. So we can start off by taking advantage of this. You know, obviously your opponent can adjust to this. You can't just spam it the entire game. But what we're going to do is wheel our running back and then motion block this guy in. And then what you're going to see is you can just throw it to him. He's going to be open every single time until he adjusts to it. So let's take a look. Is it replay? He can't make up that much ground that fast. It's just impossible. So that's going to be wide open for possibly a 1-play touchdown. If he doesn't adjust to it, of course. But then let's just say, for the sake of the example, what happens if, you know, they do something like this? Let's just say they adjust to him. Well, we're going to have everything else open as well. So let's go ahead and take a look. Angle post. Got an overthrow there. Do it one more time. Wheel the running back. Set up the blitz. Let's just man this guy up to the running back to make things simple. Motion snap this guy here. And what you're going to see is we have this guy. We have the angle post. The speed out route does kind of get covered. Be careful throwing that. But one thing I'll say about that speed out route is if they mix in zone coverage, that is going to beat pretty much anything to the flats. So like if they run like a cover 3, it'll pretty much out leverage anything to the flats. So that's one way to beat cover 0 out of tight offset. And then another way is to use a different play. We'll use, for instance, Y out if I could find it. Y out halfback swing. Same looping play. And then in this case, we're going to block our running back. And then what I like to do is slant X and then motion him out. So let's go ahead and do it like this. And then you really want to hit this corner route. He didn't get any separation there, but in game, he's going to get a ton of separation. And then also you have the motion slant and you have your tight end. Like all of those are going to get open. So let's take a look. In this case, the tight end on a speed out route is going to get wide open. Block your running back, set up the loop. Almost got baited by the hook there, but as you can see, he's going to have to respect something. He has to respect either the slant or the tight end out route. And then also this little skinny post can get open, but the thing is, if you're blocking your running back, the guy who's assigned to the running back is going to just turn into a deep third. And at that point, you can't throw that skinny post. Like, he's not an option anymore. He's pretty much double teamed. So you only have three options. You have the out route from the tight end, you have the slant, and you have the corner route from your receiver. All three are great options. For some reason, Mike Evans just is not separating on that corner route, but you're going to have to just take my word for it. He does get open. One more time. See if Mike Evans gets open this time. He's just kind of like rounding his route for some reason, and I have no idea why. But usually that's like a sharp corner route in game, and you can definitely trust it. So that's going to be it for tight offset. This next play is one that I personally use in my own formation, which is gun box. This is the Tampa Bay Bucks playbook, and this is something that's going to be really good versus cover zero because we're going to have a route that gets like a free release. So linebacker blitz 0. I will say this play kind of depends on what kind of cover zero they're in. If they're in like a mid blitz, it's going to be kind of hard to run this play. I'll show you an example why, but if they're in like in this kind of play, you know, the looping blitz, you can definitely run this. So I'm going to wheel my running back and then out route B. What this is going to do is it's going to give you options versus both zone and man. But let's just say that you know it's man. You're still going to run this combination, and it's because it helps us get really good space for our money route, which is A. Let's go ahead and look. You're going to see right here, he's going to get a free release. And if that's not usered versus cover zero, it's going to be a touchdown every single time. Do it again. And, you know, this is a unique play in the gun box formation, but if you guys have like these stack looks, really explore these stack looks. That's how you get some really good releases and potentially one play touchdowns versus cover zero. So again, let's go ahead and snap. You're going to see this. He just dumbs out his man and you can just rack it. And again, that kind of has to be usered. And then one thing I'll say is this little crossing route from RB, I don't think he's getting open right now, but in game he gets open. Yeah, he's getting pressed pretty hard right now. He's like glitching out. But you really have two routes that beat man. It's this crossing route and this money route right here. This kind of like post, this stack post. So one thing I want to show you, just be careful using this play because, for instance, if you have, let's say they have mid blitz, right? If they have mid blitz and you run that play, this is where it gets a little bit different. So, you know, all they're going to do is, you know, press, for instance, and then the safeties man up to the running back. And then if you block your running back, which you have to versus mid blitz, because if you don't, they're getting a free release. So we'll do something like this. We'll just leave the running back on a block, and then you're going to see what happens here. You can still throw this, but now there's a middle third safety. You're not going to get that one play touchdown. And you also can't wait to throw it. With the other method, you can throw it whenever, really. But right here, you have a window. So you see how he dumps out the running back, gets inside leverage, you pass it inside. You're not really at risk of throwing a pick here, but you're just not getting the same reward. But you will pick up the mid blitz. So that's kind of the advantage of, you know, blocking your running back is you're going to pick up the pressure. For the final section of this video, we're going to be talking about gun empty bunch wide. And I'm still in the Bucks playbook. And this is a really good formation for just kind of getting them in misalignments. So let's go ahead and come out in Z-spot smash for now. Then we'll do linebacker blitz 0. And then go ahead and look at the bunch side. So first of all, it makes it an extremely obvious tell that it's man coverage. Like they have the two guys way off. the tight end, and the point receiver. And what that does is obviously it makes it hard for them to disguise stuff. And then also you have safety. You have a safety lined up on the receiver, which is going to be a mismatch because he's going to have worse man coverage than we have speed and usually route running. And then he can't press unless he brings him all the way up. So we have two advantages right there. And we'll go ahead and take advantage. So let's go ahead and zig our running back and slant B. And then we're going to motion block this guy here. Let's go ahead and run it like that. And this guy, he's just going to toast every single time if he's not pressed. They have to bring the guy up to press him. And he actually got double teamed there. So set up the loop this time. We're still going to motion block. Maybe zig B this time, zig X. And then just look at your corner routes. Corner routes should do a really good job of getting open versus on either side. It's going to be really hard to play man coverage. And like I said, the good news is they don't have much of a choice but to tell you that they're man coverage. So good formation for just making things easier for yourself. You can still throw that, maybe possession catch it. But if you, for instance, let's say that you really don't want him to be double teamed, really what you're going to do is you're just not going to motion block and you're just going to make a quick read. So however you want to set that up, that's kind of up to you. But, you know, maybe zig B, slant RB. And this will get the safety out of the way, make it a somewhat easy catch for your receiver. So you can do it on the other side too. I've already shown you can throw it to the other corner. But it's just like beating man coverage is just about being a little clever sometimes. It's not always about just like the best route. It's also just about getting a formation on the field that just kind of exploits what they're trying to do, which we're doing right now. So let's go ahead and look again. Over here, he's going to toast. So we have corners on both sides. And you can throw that before the loop even comes in. But of course, if they're running like a mid blitz, you can't just like not block anybody because that's just going to come in a free rusher 6v5. And then the other setup we're going to do is post corner read. I'm just going to audible to it. And what you can do here, I'll set it up like this. I would say you drag your running back because it's just going to be good if they do mix up zone or have like a zone man hybrid. And then I would motion block this guy still. So do something like this. And then you're going to have these two C routes are going to win on the outside. Something weird kind of happened there. Let's do it again. Audible over, drag your running back, motion block this guy. And then let's go ahead and look. It's basically the same concept that we were dealing with just a second ago, where you have two routes that are going to beat the man. The guy just kind of disengaged. He squeezed through the defensive line, so we didn't have time. But yeah, you're basically just looking at these two C routes. One more time. See if we can hit it this time. And they're going to win large majority of the time. So audible over, drag, motion block. So just like that, it's very, very simple. He's actually getting double teamed there because of the motion block, but yeah, they can't defend both sides. And that's what's good about having these kind of beaters here is you have like, you see Godwin, he looks like he's bagged, but then he gets open like at the last second. And then this post, I haven't even gone over this. This post is going to get wide open too. I'll throw it one more time. I'll throw the post. Drag your running back. Let's look for the post this time, see if he gets open. He actually doesn't really get open there. I think he'll get open sometimes, but overall, those are some really good methods for you guys to beat cover zero. I know it wasn't like one play touchdowns versus cover zero, just gets them out of it immediately, but these are more like fundamental ways to beat cover zero, and I just wanted to show you that it doesn't have to be hard. You just have to think a little more about how you want to exploit the fact that they're in cover zero. And hopefully I illustrated that pretty well. So please drop a like if you did enjoy this video. Really helps the channel out. Subscribe for more Madden 23 content. And then if you guys want additional help, acemadden.com. And then that's going to be it. I'll see you guys tomorrow.